Okay. We are live back on the Twitters and the YouTube for ESPN Richmond. Uh, this is Jordan Bondurant. I produce the afternoon drive programming a couple of days a week on 1061 ESPN here in Richmond, Virginia. This is part two of my series that I'm putting together on integrating the RØDE RØDEcaster video into the live streaming, video live stream workflow for the station. And so, to recap, uh, in the past, the RØDEcaster video came out late in 2024, like November of 2024. So it has only been out for a couple of months, like 6 months. It's only been out for like 6 months. So still a new product, but I was fortunate enough this week to procure one, and so I am incorporating that into the workflow for our programming. So have a hard deadline to make sure we've got everything operational and ready to go for Jack Fitzpatrick and Fits the Bill tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock in the morning. You can obviously watch it on our Twitter and our YouTube and our Facebook page. You can look up ESPN Richmond to get a link in the morning. Again, Fits the Bill with Jack Fitzpatrick from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Monday through Friday here on 1061 ESPN. And again, just to reiterate, I've seen a lot of videos since the RØDEcaster video came out about its various use cases, whether it be for podcasting or live streaming or just concert recording. I think I've seen something in the past about live sports application, but I haven't seen any use cases. As I'm trying to get my camera right, I'm using my phone for the camera, but I hadn't seen any use cases for the RØDEcaster video in a radio station setting. Radio stations nowadays are switching over to including a live video feed in studio of their shows. So if you've ever wanted to watch your favorite local sports talk show or anything like that, if you're at work and wanted to tune in the morning or the afternoon, you can do that. A lot of radio stations across the country have tapped into that big time over the last several years, especially as streaming platforms continue to grow and get bigger and bigger. So here we are. Let me switch the camera around for you. I have done a little bit of cleaning up, but so we have our RØDEcaster. We have the RØDEcaster video here, and linked into it are four actually. So this camera right here is the new producer cam. So that'll be one camera input. You can see into the studio, there's a Canon XA10 camcorder in the near corner, and then over in the far corner is a Panasonic HCX 1500 camcorder. So the Canon in the studio, and what we can do is we can walk in there in a second, and I can do a quick tour. But so you have the Canon and the Panasonic cameras are going to be the two host cameras. So the talent sitting in the middle seat in the studio will have two camera angles to work with, and then there's a JVC HM170U camcorder, and you'll see it's in the this far corner here on the left, and that will just be our general look-in shot, look into the studio as we come back from commercial breaks and as live streams start. So I have run two 75-foot fiber optic HDMI cables from the Canon and the JVC camera around the corner, through the hallway, and back in here, and it is plugged in. It is these two right here. These two HDMI inputs right there are the one, and then the Panasonic has a wireless video transmitter. The Axune Cineview HE is the wireless video transmitter. The receiver is tucked in the corner, back behind this monitor that you're looking at. And so is the AverMedia Live Gamer Ultra 4K capture card. That is to get the signal from the producer can, since there are only 4 HDMI inputs. And as we progress and I go in to start building graphics and layouts and everything like that, I want to be able to show on screen what I'm looking at. So I've routed the 4th HDMI from here. So this cable here, this HDMI cable there, into the back of this computer right here that I have built. And I used just a simple DisplayPort HDMI adapter. So theoretically that should work. And then what'll happen is, as I turn the computer on and power on the RØDEcaster video for the first time, you'll be able to see what I'm seeing and all that sort of stuff. And so that's what we'll do. That's on the agenda. The main thing right now, obviously, is to power everything on, get the firmware updated in the RØDEcaster video, make sure we've got signals for all the inputs, and then once that is figured out and we know that there are no issues, the audio is loud and clear, and that it syncs, then we'll be in good shape. So that's the plan. And then after all that, we'll work on the graphics and the overlay for Fits the Bill. And if there's time after that, we'll work on the afternoon drive shows. And then at some point, we're going to fit cable management in there as well. You can see the ladder in the studio. So I'm going to have to route the HDMI cables using the ceiling. I've got some Velcro ties here, so that'll help me out as well. So let's power the computer on. So let me turn this around. Let's turn the computer on. Okay. So we've got the computer powering on here. So that's, while that's booting up, there it is. So we'll go ahead and sign in. All right. So the computer is on. Now, the moment of truth. We're going to power on the RØDEcaster video. Okay. All right. So initially, on initial startup here, we've got our 4 HDMI sources. And actually, I do have one concern in that the computer, that the screen is not on. Peel that off. Let's see what we got. No storage device connected. Home. Settings. Let's use our storage. Micro SD. So the micro SD, you can see, has 117 gigabytes free. So that's a good sign. So let's go back. Hello, hello. Can you hear me? Switch to the other microphone. So let's see. Powered on the other monitor. So I should. Let's see. Let's go into settings, video, HDMI A, program, multi-view. So the monitor is on. We're getting a power button. You can see okay. So that's not good. Hmm. Let's see what we got going on here. So A is in A. And then it's plugged. Is it plugged in? HDMI. So okay. So it's the monitor has power, but for some reason my for some reason my multi-view is not displaying on. Oh, it did something. Did you see the flicker? It flickered for just a second. So I'm wondering. Do I need to? Let's see. Bear with me just a second, as I need to look something up here. Uh, there it is. Okay. Let's do that. All right, let me see what can I start my camera? Yep. Okay. In the meantime, I have my webcam, handy dandy webcam. I'm working on putting in the Wi-Fi password. So that's what I'm doing currently. Connecting to the Wi-Fi. Okay, so we're on the Wi-Fi here. So Wi-Fi is connected. Network brightness, date and time, about, update. Update now. All right, so we're downloading the firmware update. Got the firmware going. So it's installing my firmware update here. My monitor, it keeps wanting to display HDMI, and it keeps flickering, so I'm not quite sure whether the problem is the HDMI cord I hope it's not the HDMI cord, but I have a backup just in case. So while we wait, so we're going to go over here to the computer monitor here. And what we're going to do is we're going to go to RØDE.com. As the firmware update continues to download, we're going to go to RØDEcaster video. Or actually, what we're going to do is we're going to go to apps. I need the RØDEcaster app. Right? Is that what I need? Rode Connects. No, I'm pretty sure I need the RØDEcaster app because that's how I control it. So download for Windows. So we're downloading the RØDEcaster app. We're downloading the RØDEcaster app because of the fact that you can control the RØDEcaster video through because this will allow us to control and make changes to the RØDEcaster on the fly. Okay. So let me switch cameras here. So this is the RØDEcaster app that we've got open here, and it sees our RØDEcaster video. So let's start. Well, what I really want is to figure out why I think it's the HDMI cord. And I don't know why, but we'll see. And then, so you see the indicator is blinking blue, and then this little light right here, this light that's green indicates that the storage has been detected and formatted and is ready to be recorded into. We'll also use so it takes a micro SD card. So I bought this 128 gig SD card, micro SD card with the reader. And so we can store all our stuff on it. Okay, so let's go into Scene Builder. So we're in Scene Builder. Okay. Actually, let's get out of the Scene Builder. Audio. Let's test
the
our
vibe. What's the feel
audio
out there
here.
in OKC?
Well, we're not at the arena just yet, but I've been walking around town all day, and there is definitely a vibe. Every business you go to and walk around, people are excited. They're asking you about the game. There's certainly an atmosphere
so
for
the
sure
combo
in a town
jack
like this.
is
And,
playing
look,
ESPN
we
radio.
haven't had a Game 7 in
on the
9 years,
stream.
so there's no...
So if I turn it off, so let's see. Probably a good time to monitor my audio. So let's grab these. This. Okay, so we're not getting any audio. Let's see. No, that's not working either.
I want to call him a sidekick, but his supporting cast.
Let's see. Let's go into settings. Audio. All right, so this is where we're running into the issue. So my audio solution is not working how I want it to work. Like it's picking up an audio signal, but I'm listening through the headphone jack. Yeah, I'm listening through the headphone jack and getting nothing.
Predictor, right, in regards to how you manage some stuff. I think Mark's done a fantastic job, though, for being here for the first time, because I think he understands his team. And I think that when you understand your team and you have this level of respect from your players, I think it's easy to get them to buy in. And again, I think you and I talked games. Like, I've rarely seen a young team that understands their roles the way this team does. So while Rick has certainly been a master of competing in this particular series, and certainly, he does that on a regular basis. I mean, if they win this one, he'll have two of the biggest upsets in NBA history, right? That one in Dallas against the Heat and LeBron and those guys. And this one, certainly, when you look at it from a odds perspective, they were one of the biggest favorites, OKC, heading into the finals from the beginning.
Do you think that is reasonable to have a reasonable approach to come into this game as if it was any other game? Because sometimes we've heard a lot of the interviews, and they talk about try to approach this game, if this is just another game. And I know better than that for a game 7.
I'm hearing it in my headphones. You can
smart,
hear it.
To tell your team, like, hey, approach it just like any other game. Or should you let them know, like, hey, this is a game 7. Everything is on the line. Every detail is going to matter.
Yeah, look, I think, Norris, I think that they try to approach it that way, but I think that everyone knows, that there's some extra juice to this. So I think what you try to do is, I know when you played for Spo, I know he would talk about things like, hey, this is a privilege, right? Pressure is a privilege.
Right.
Dagnall has said similar things. So I would imagine he'll take a similar course in regards to just kind of telling these guys, yeah, look, I want to go into the guys like we've done all season. But just enjoy the moment out there, because again, very few people have played in these types of situations. So, I know your guy, Spo, used to do that stuff, about the privilege of playing in these particular spots. So I would imagine they're taking a similar tact.
George, when you think about the role players, we talked a lot about Caruso and Lou Dort and some of the other big pieces there. Certainly for the Thunder, you flip it over for the Pacers and Benedict Mathurin and even Shepherd and certainly Obi Toppin. Is there somebody you're kind of circling tonight that you're saying that outside of the guys like we talked about earlier that has just got to step their game up even more than they have been to this point?
Yeah, look, besides the obvious guys, like I think for OKC, to me, Chet has to have a big game offensively. Like he's been fine defensively, but he's been very up and down offensively. He's been pushed around a little bit, and because Miles Turner has a big weight advantage certainly on him. I think Caruso has to play big. When he plays big, they're nearly unstoppable. Lou Dort has to step up. Hit some shots. Obviously, you know what you're going to get with him defensively. And for Indiana, to me, it's McConnell and Toppin off the bench. Like, they've been a fantastic 1-2 punch off the bench. If they can get it rolling, that gives them their best chance to win beyond what your expectations are from the starting group.
Which bench are you counting on tonight? Are you counting on the Pacers bench to take them to victory, or are you counting on OKC's bench to lead them to victory? I generally tend to think, I subscribe to the adage, Norris, of, role players play better at home. And I've seen this OKC group of players play so well here throughout the entire season. And look, I think Indiana's group is going to come too. Like, don't get me wrong. But I feel like this is the moment where that old adage plays out, right? Where the home team gives those guys a bump. They get more confidence. They're hitting shots. Because if they're hitting shots, because that's not their strength, right? Like, three-point shooting is not their strength. If they hit shots, then I think that's one of those things that makes them very difficult to beat OKC. One way or the other, because of the home court advantage, I would look towards OKC in that sense. I don't know, Norris. Maybe we'll get one of those Ray Allen shots, man. I remember you saw the thing was going in the whole way.
Okay,
The
so
second he got the ball, you knew that was going
you
in
can
every
hear
time.
ESPN
You've
radio,
seen him practice
yes?
that shot a bazillion
Can you
times where he
hear
lays on his back
ESPN
and back
radio?
pedals and
If
shoots
you
that thing.
can,
So who knows? Maybe we'll get one of those
then
crazy
it
moments,
sounds
even though that was
good.
Game 6 and this is Game 7.
So
George, really appreciate your time, man. Enjoy the call tonight. I know it's going to be so much fun, and we'll be listening tonight on ESPN Radio.
Appreciate
Hi,
you,
Matt
George.
Norris. Thank you so much. Have a great show. Take care.
There you go, George Sedano. You can hear him with Kesty and PJ on the call coming up in just about an hour and a half. It's starting to build. It's starting to go. That's why I was so happy, and I appreciate George being able to get with us just to talk about that vibe, like the electricity out there in OKC, and we'll be ready to go for Game 7.
I've got a cleaner signal for
Plenty
audio
to come
now.
up as we
I
get
ran
going.
a
Starting to feel
microphone
it again. We've
cord.
got you covered all night here on
see
ESPN
if I
Radio,
can-
including post-game after. But don't forget, too, we got a little baseball action tonight as the Phillies host
So
the Mets.
over
Coverage of Sunday
here,
baseball begins at 7
I've
p.m.
got some
Eastern
outputs.
on ESPN Radio, the ESPN
So I've
app,
run
and,
this
of course,
microphone cord from
ESPN.
this
So we got it all for you.
minus
Game
50
7 coming up
dB
tonight with just so
output
much intrigue
around
of a lot of these different players on who's
and
going to step up
into
and who's
this
going to lead
first
their
channel
team to
here
win.
for the
And you've
audio.
got a star. You got the bona fide star in Shea, but there's going to be a lot of those other role players that are going to have to step
And it
up
sounds
for this one
nice
as well.
and nice
We've
and
run through a
clear
lot.
in my
We're gonna run
headphones.
through a
It
couple
sounds
more
a lot
as
like
we roll on. The
what
best
you're
2 words in
listening to
sports.
here
Game
on the
7.
screen.
We continue to count you down for Game 7 of the finals. That's next. This is NBA Countdown on ESPN Radio, the ESPN app,
So,
and SiriusXM Channel 80.
Okay, so we've got our 4
Join us Monday,
HDMIs.
6 a.m. Eastern for Unsportsmanlike. Kevin Durant is going to be a member of the Houston Rockets. Can he win another title? Plus, Game 7 NBA Finals, 6 a.m. Eastern Monday on Sportsmanlike ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
If you have ever thought about remodeling your bathroom but were worried it would take too long or cost too much, then stop worrying. Right now, Jacuzzi Bath Remodel has designed a collection of high-quality custom products and perfected the one-day remodeling experience so you can enjoy your new bathroom faster than ever before. It's a worry-free bath remodel from the most trusted brand name in the business, Jacuzzi. A jacuzzi bath system fits in your existing tub space. It's a no-mess installation with an amazing style selection, factory-certified installers, and a limited lifetime warranty. Call 800-717-4599.
So we've done that.
That's 800-717-4599 right now and get 50% off installation.
Do this.
With no interest and no payments for 12 months.
Going to
Replace
wind
that
up
old
this
bathtub
cord.
today with a walk-in shower for a safer bathing experience. If you have lived in your home for over 15 years, it's time to remodel your bathroom. For a virtual or in-home appointment, call
So that's
800-717-4599. That's 800-717-4599.
So I can hear everything loud and clear.
4599.
Amerindian.
You roll out Tom Thibodeau's resume to Leon and James Dolan. Are they hiring him as the next head
Multi-track,
coach? Going,
video
Probably.
storage.
They didn't have a plan. All they did was fire the coach that got them further than they've ever been in 25 years. Good luck, because I think he got the most out of that particular roster.
Amerindian. Weeknights at 7 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on SiriusXM Channel 80.
Athletes Unlimited Softball League is here, and it's bringing the heat all season long. 4 teams stacked with elite talent on the game's biggest stage. Maya Brady, Odyssey Alexander, Sis Bates, Aaliyah Andrews. 24 games, 10 cities. This is legendary. The AUSL on the networks of ESPN.
Okay, so now we got a PSA from the regular. So this sounds pretty good, actually. I don't know if I need to tweak the audio at all. Yeah, we got... Okay, so we've got audio feeding into it. I'm listening to the RØDEcaster through the first headphone output. And I need to figure out Okay, so you're hearing ESPN radio. So my main thing right now, I'm trying to, let me get this camera. So I'm trying to get the multi-view, the regular producer view, to display on this monitor here. And for some reason, it's not doing what I want it to do. So I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, see, you see it's flickering. It's flickering like that, so I'm not sure what the. Should I switch? Is the question. Or should I try a different chord? It keeps flickering, so I'm trying to figure out what it could potentially be. Let's see. Um, let's see. Find my time zone. Here we go. We're getting closer. Pacific time. International Dateline. Oh. What's that? Did I find it? Central. Eastern time. There we go. 6:36. Got it. Okay, well, we're going to keep working on this. Gonna keep working on it till it gets better. So we are okay. Scene builder. Let's see. So dang. Producer cam is not being picked up. Producer cam not being picked up. So um disconnected. USB 4 is disconnected. So let's see. HDMI A, B, USB 1 is program. Hmm. I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna try something. Well, there we go. Okay. So let's take that. Okay, so now we got a picture. Let's get down here and plug this in here. Fix this. Put the power in there. And then come on. Ugh. Oh. Video. Multi-view. Okay, so now I'm so confused why this is not working for me. So confused. Um, let's see. See what we got. Okay, so that's in there. Why you're not displaying a picture. Okay, so now I think I know what I'm gonna do. We're gonna switch them. Switch 'em. Switched them. So now let's I need a USB power source. Hmm. Is there? A lot of trial and error to get it right. But it's worth it. Let's see. And I'm still not getting a picture on the computer. What can we do? What can we do? Think, think, think. What can we do? I said, So we have a couple of things. My capture card idea is not appearing to work all that good. Camera 2. Which one is camera 2? You're now camera 3. You are now camera 2. So we plug this in. And then something has happened that we are missing. So we've got A and B. Let's go investigate and see why.
A finals game 7. You had 05, which was the Spurs and the Pistons 81-74. You come on back to go to 2010, the Lakers and the Celtics.
So we switch them. See if that'll. It should pop right up. Should pop right up. And it doesn't. The hell. Oh, because I did the wrong camera. That's why. That's why I did the wrong camera, guys. Did the wrong camera.
Jack up shots everywhere. That under at 214.
Let's see. What is wrong with this one?
Probably the biggest thing for me. Everything else has been pretty consistent across the board. You know, if you talk about bench play, if you talk about, you know, points.
So now we got to go into
10 points is the goal for, you know, the Pacers when they don't score that much. You know,
camera process.
The 3-point shooting is what I would concentrate on.
Just.
There we go. We'll be ready to go. We'll get our predictions coming up. But one added wrinkle to all of this: walking into the arena, Pacers coach
System.
Carlisle saw a bunch of buttons painted in the Oklahoma City Thunder colors, saying 2025 champion.
Set up file.
I get it that they got to be ready to go.
Tally lamp.
Have that parade, but for him to walk into the Paycom Center and see a bunch of buses, I can imagine Norris and Rick Carlisle walked into his locker room and told his guys, hey, they're out there painting buses thinking they're about to win this championship tonight.
Oh, man, that's excellent bulletin board material. You know, he don't even have to go through a game plan. All you have to do is get a picture of that and put it up on the board. And that's all he has to say before they run out there. That might be all they need for the night.
That might be it. All right, Norris, we're here. We're final, ready to get our predictions. I do think the Thunder are going to close this thing out tonight. I think being back at home, they might have taken
So
game 6.
it's set at 1080p. HDMI out is on.
Go off for it. And I really think that this is going to be a legacy type of game for him. I think he's going to be the reason. You get the bench guys. I think the Pacers have.
I think that's.
And an excellent story, but talent's going to win out for me in this game tonight, and I think the Thunder have more talent.
Let's see. Let's switch it off and then back on.
Indiana has played great. It's been a great run, but I feel like, you know, I'm gonna go with history. The home team with the best player, role players play better at home. I'm going with the Thunder.
That's a good point too, with the role players being at home, and it's going to be Alex Caruso.
I'm trying to see why.
It's going to be some of these other guys for the Thunder.
It says 3840 by 2160. How do I change that? Because I'm not sure.
He was talking about.
Yeah, because it's not.
For a game 7, the Thunder might actually have to game plan against TJ.
Let's see.
For Siakam or Tyrese Halliburton or anything like that, it's that they have to be aware of a guy like TJ McConnell, because that's what this series has been about. It's been about Caruso and Lou Dort and some of these other guys stepping up, in addition to the stars like Shea, Jalen Williams, Halliburton, and Siakam.
No, I agree. I think tonight, TJ McConnell, I don't want to call it luck, but I think they're going to finally have an answer for him and his energy. And that they have to if they want to win a championship. And so I believe, you know, Alex Caruso will be ready. I believe Lou Dort will be ready. I believe that, Wallace will be ready to shut him down and go on here and secure that victory so they can have this great season. It'll be a great cap.
All right.
A great season.
Let's see what we got going on here. We're messing with the
NBA Finals continues with gym basketball that's coming your way next. This has been NBA Countdown on ESPN Radio, ESPN app, and SiriusXM Channel 80. Everybody enjoy the game tonight.
Hey, it's Rochelle Smallman, and coming up Monday with NBA free agency on the horizon, NBA Smallsy tells you where I want to see the biggest free agents land. It's on Sportsman, like 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems. Listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank account, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get.
So we have to change the output of the camera from, we got to go from, because it's showing 4K. It's saying 4K.
Lottery draw. Good luck. And here's today's winning numbers. First one up, it's
But we
yours.
need
Second one,
1080, 1920 by 1080.
yours. Okay, this is one number that's yours. It's a 5, but you don't get any money for that. And the final number is not yours.
Yep, so chances are you're not going to hit the lottery anytime soon. Don't get us wrong, the lottery can be fun every now and then. Just please don't rely on it for your future savings. How about this? Brew your own coffee at home instead of buying that latte every day. Brown bag it to work instead of ordering in. Ride your bike instead of buying all that gas. These changes alone could save you thousands a year. Thousands. Small changes today, big bucks tomorrow. Feed that piggy bank. Go to feedthepig.org for more free ideas on how to save. Feedthepig.org. This message brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council. Hey, it's me, your piggy bank. Remember when you were a little kid? All the dimes and quarters in my back? Yeah, that was good times. Good times. Now lately, I gotta be honest, you've been ignoring me. Money's been slipping through your hands like a greased pig. Get it? Because I'm a... Anyway, I know how it is. Now that you get a real paycheck, it's nice to have stuff. You'll start saving money next year. Well, I hate to tell you, but good saving habits start now. Put just $20 in the bank a month. Make your own coffee at home instead of that latte every morning. Brown bag it to work instead of ordering in. Those changes alone could save you thousands of dollars a year. Come on, I'm your piggy bank. We could be together again. Me and you. The special times. Anyway, if you don't want me to cry anymore, feed me. Go to feedthepig.org for more ideas on how to save. Feedthepig.org. This message brought to you by the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants and the Ad Council.
We're home for the Atlanta Braves, live on W291CL Lakeside in Richmond and WURVHC2 Richmond. Every swing, every win. Stay locked on 106.1 ESPN. This is the NBA Finals on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app. You're asking me if Indiana can get a game. I believe they can. I believe they win and they push this to a game 7. And Indiana's got a 7-point lead. Nimhart for 3 and he hits. Down floor, Shepard gliding all the way down. Grabs it, lays it in. The Pacers are running the Thunder out of the gym. Indiana in a rout wins game 6, and the best 2 words in sport, game 7. We got a game 7. I can't wait for Sunday night. I can't wait.
Okay, so fix the camera.
One game. The NBA season has come down to one game. The Indiana Pacers and Oklahoma City Thunder. One tip for a title. It's game 7. NBA Countdown is next. Taking you inside the NBA Finals. Latest on the game's top stars and storylines. This is NBA Countdown, ESPN Radio. Now, here's Jim Basquill. For the first time since 2016, the NBA Finals have reached a seventh and deciding game. Indiana taking it to the limit against the league's best.
We played better. When we made a mistake, we bounced back well, and that's what you got to do this time of year. Like I said, what's happened in the past doesn't matter. What happened today doesn't matter. It's all about one game. You know, the coaching have the right way.
This is what you have for the league's last two standing as we near this seventh and deciding game for Oklahoma City. The home teams are 15-4 all-time in Game 7s in the NBA Finals. They are 18-2 after a loss this season, 6-0 in the playoffs. They've won 7 straight Game 7s at home, including by 32 points in the conference semis against the Nuggets. They're 10-2 at home in these playoffs, scoring 122 per game. And a win, with a win, they'd have...
So I'm not quite sure what's going on. Why it's...
697 Bulls. For Indiana, they won Game 6, and teams are...
It's in the HDMI slot that it's in. See? So it's in the source.
60-win teams in a title run, and their plus 8,000 title odds entering the postseason would mark the longest for any Big Four champ. That said,
So we turn it back on. Let's see what we got. And I'm looking over in the corner to see if it'll pick back up. But it doesn't appear to be getting picked up by the cord that I got. So I'm a bit confused.
Their coaches Rick Carlisle and Mark Daignault share insight as to what may help their team gain the upper hand tonight.
We only got 2 cameras working right now. So we need to figure out our means of attack here. Let's see. So that one kills camera 2. Camera 2. Okay. Camera 3. That is so weird. Hmm. Okay. Also, let me... I'm using incorrect cable for it. But we'll see. Let's plug this into number 3. Let's see if that... I'm so confused. I don't know why that 3rd. So what we're looking at, so we've got only two. Let me power it off. Sure, yes, powering off. So we're restarting it to see. Okay, so we still only have two camera inputs working. Um, got it. Okay. The hell, you were just working. So it only works in slot 4? What? I'm so confused. Camera 3. Okay, camera 1. Camera 2. Camera 2. Okay. So don't want that. So we'll put that in camera 3. Camera 2. Okay. Camera 3. So I'm so confused. I don't know why. So confused why this is not. Okay. That is so weird. My number 3 slot, for some reason, my number 3 slot, my number 3 HDMI slot here is not playing nice at all, and I don't understand why. Because okay, so now we gotta go into the settings here. Oh my gosh, guys. This is driving me nuts. But this is what I wanted to do. So the RØDEcaster. So we got the main HDMI output so I can monitor what I'm doing. And I can see I've got 3 of the 4 cameras operational here. So I'm trying to figure out what figure out what to do here. This is it's really something, guys. I'm not quite sure. Combo 1. Combo 2, video clip sounds, Bluetooth. Storage device, network, brightness, date and time, about. Hmm. Hmm. Aha! Aha! Okay. Okay. Sweet. All right, I know what I'm doing now, guys. Know what I'm doing. Okay, so camera 1. Camera 1 is that. Camera 2. We're going to change that. Camera 3. Be that. Camera 4. That. You guys, I did it. I figured it out. Aren't you proud of me? I'm happy. I did it. So we're gonna do that. Okay, so now what I think I'm gonna try and do is to get the let's try it this way. Okay, so got it like that. So I plug this HDMI cord into the back of the computer. Let's do HDMI in. And we'll do USB 4. And then put it in here. And then if it'll okay, so my AverMedia capture card is not going to give me the let's see. Or let's see what we should do. So what I want to do is make my computer a detectable source and I don't have anything that will convert I don't have anything that will convert a USB or an hmm. Or do I? Let's see. So the main thing is right now we got 4 cameras set up and we've got the audio situation figured out. So that's good. We've made progress there. We're making progress. What we need to do is, well, one, we need to get a display on the PC. So that's the first thing. Is we need to get a PC signal into that may be it. Plugged in all the way. Are you going to cut on? Are you going to show me a screen? Ah, ah, it's doing things. It's doing things. Let's see. I'm not putting it in the capture card. I'm putting it in the HDMI. And I had signed. What a conundrum this is. I'm not sure why. It is doing what it's doing, but oh. You see it keeps wanting to display an image. Keeps wanting to display an image. just do it this way. Ha ha! Ha ha, guys! Ha ha! Ha ha! So now still doesn't. For some reason, do I... Let's see. One, two, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's what we got now with our multi output here. So let's see. Capture cards. All right, so what we want to do now is we want to check. Check. 1, 2, sibilance. Sibilance. Okay. Okay. So that's good to know. Hello.
Game 7.
This, but I think you have to, in your coaching, you have to believe that you can control everything, and you also need to believe that you.
Hello. Okay. So now All right, so I'm trying to figure out. I guess I can't. I can't record my screen, so I'm not sure. Um, yeah. So here we are. For our logo. So that's what we're doing here. Save that. let's save it to our downloads. ESPN 1061 ESPN logo. We add media, downloads. .230 by 228. So this is 1665 white. 1665. So now we're just getting into the scene building aspect. I'm using Canva. Let's save this as PNG. just do it like this, just for the sake of building my scenes. So we've got 7 scenes to build from. So we'll save that into our downloads. We'll go back into here. We'll add media. Add another source. Stream backgrounds. Let's see why. Um. All right. Well, my phone's about to die, so I think I'm gonna end the live stream here. Made some progress. I'm gonna hunker down and get some work done, but hopefully you enjoy this. But thanks.